Yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch here at SportsView360.com. In today's video, I just want to talk about Saints 2024 draft class and discuss if this draft class can have a significant impact on the upcoming 2024 season. Kind of similar to how the 2017 draft class impacted the 2017 season for New Orleans Saints, as Drew Brees will start to go into his later years of his prolific career. That year, a lot of people weren't expecting a lot out of the New Orleans Saints. He started off with a sluggish start, 0-2. People was calling for Sean Payton's job, and this and that, trade Drew Brees, just all kind of just anger and all that. And then it just like in 1 week, it clicked and it just rattled off. I think it was like 7 to 8 straight victories, won the NFC South, and then it just started back up all over again with the Saints being a dominant force in the NFC. So can that happen again with this draft class? Because the Saints didn't have a lot to work with. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have a lot of draft capital. They didn't have multiple picks until the 5th round. And just from a lot of articles that I've read that, rated the Saints draft pick, did reviews on the Saints 2024 draft selections. All these publications out there, these bigger publications than mine, had give the Saints a good rating, a good grade. Give them some Pro Football Focus give them an A+. Some sites give them a B minus, but nothing was below a B, from based on everything that I've read. So with that being said, could this class, even though it's a class, this is for the future. This draft was about the future of the team. Can they have an impact right now? Can they have an impact for this upcoming season? I'm gonna just go ahead and just go over this recap the players that they took in the draft. The first round took Talise Fuanga, offensive tackle out of Oregon State. 45, they move up to get Kool-Aid McKinstry, dominant corner out of Alabama. 5th round, that was the draft. This is the pick that pretty much shocked everyone. A lot of people wasn't expecting it, and that's Spencer Rattler, QB out of South Carolina. 170, pick 170 in the 5th round again. Bud Means, wide receiver out of Pittsburgh. 175, they go in with Jalen Ford, linebacker out of Texas. And after that, in the 6th round, you pick Christian Ford, defensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. The 7th round, another offensive lineman, Josiah Israel. So, with that being said, man, look, Talise Fuanga and Kool-Aid McKinstry, those players, out of the players on this list, I see about, 3 or 4 of these guys having a significant impact. 3 to 4. And I'm mostly talking about Talise Fuanga, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Bud Means, and possibly Christian Ford. Because, we all know about the defensive line, Saints defensive line. We know that injuries on that with that unit tend to occur. Certain players, don't produce sometimes. Payne Turner, I hope Payne Turner is healthy this season. But if not, Christian Ford's name might get called. A 6th round pick. They've done this in the past, where these players that they draft in the later rounds on defense get playing time in their rookie year. We've seen this happen in the past. We've seen it happen with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He was a 4th round pick. David Onyemata, I think he was a 4th round pick. And he saw action in his rookie season. So I expect him at some point during the season to see playing time. And hopefully he can contribute, because he fits that prototype of what the Saints are looking for in the defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? Big guy, 300 pounds, 6'5", 6'6", I believe. He fits that mold. Jalen Ford, I like this pick because he's another guy that you can, possibly pencil in as the replacement for Demario Davis. Even though he's going into a crowded linebacker room right now that has Demario Davis, of course, P. Warner, and Willie Gay. So I think his future is going to start off on special teams right now. I think he takes that other role. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be on kickoffs, man. He'll be on there blocking punts and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Spencer Rattler, I view him as a pick of the future. I view him as a pick of the future, a quarterback, a potential quarterback of the future. Now, I know there's been a lot of outliers in the past that have, quarterbacks that were taken in the later rounds that went on to be starters and went on to have some really good careers, as NFL quarterbacks. Dak Prescott, he went in the 4th round. Russell Wilson was a 3rd round guy. Tom Brady was a 7th round guy, I believe. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, he was the last pick in the draft a few years ago. There are some outliers out there that quarterbacks taken in later rounds can make it. That may be the case for Spencer Rattler. He has a lot to work on. It depends. His development, his growth as a starter, a potential starter, it's all going to depend on how quickly he can grasp Clint Kubiak's system. That's what it's going to be about with Spencer Rattler. So that's going to be, I think, the QB battle, the battle for QB2 between, I think, Spencer Rattler and Jacob Hayner is going to be a top storyline going into training camp. I think one between Nathan Peterman and Kellen Mond, one of those guys is going to be on practice squad, and one of those guys is going to get sent to the house, going to be released. But I think the backup role is going to be between the battle for that backup role is going to be between Spencer Rattler and Jake Hayner. One of those guys could possibly become the quarterback of the future. Who knows? But I'll say this though: if the Saints finish the season with a similar record to what they had this past season, 9-8 record or 8-9 record, they may need to consider even if they get a pick like they did this past season, where this past draft, where you're in that 14, 11 range, top 10 range, I would consider getting a quarterback. I would consider taking a quarterback, because Shedeur Sanders is coming out. Quinn Ewers will be available. Quarterback out of Georgia, he's coming out. Carson Beck, he's going to be available. So if you can get an upgrade over both Hayner and Rattler, I think the Saints should go for it. But I like that as I said in the previous video, I like that they're being proactive about the position. I like that they're being proactive about the linebacker position. And by all intents and means and purposes, by all means, Derek Carr started this year. God forbid he goes down with an injury. He is the starter this year. Kool-Aid McKinstry, that was another pick that I like. That was another great pick. I think he can have a significant impact on the season. Similar to how Lattimore impacted 2017. He won NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year that season. And it's cliches when people say this, and when he said it, Dennis Allen say this, but you can never have that much. You can never have a crowded DB room. So, an argument could be made right now that the Saints, has the best cornerback room in the league. Because Kool-Aid McKinstry is good. I think Kool-Aid McKinstry is good as advertised. I really do. Talise Fawanga, he's good as advertised. So out of the picks that the Saints made in 2024, I'm looking at guys like Talise Fawanga, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Bud Memes, and Christian Ford as players that can have a significant impact on the season. Players that you can establish as the future cornerstone of the team. That's what I think these players are capable of. Fawanga has to work. McKinstry has to work. These two players are top 40 prospects, top 30 prospects. Fawanga was a 17 ranked prospect. McKinstry a 30 ranked prospect. So those guys are legitimate plug and play players. They have to work. McKinstry has to work because you may be losing a guy like a Marshawn Lattimore, despite what Dennis Allen said at the podium. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying now in front of a camera. But who knows what's going on behind closed doors? Talise Fawanga, he has to work. He has to be a plug and play type of player. That's what he has been advertised as, a plug and play type of player. And they're probably going to put him on the right side because Ryan Ramczyk may not play this season. He may not play at all. So he has to work along with Trevor Penning. Bud Means, I see people already trying to pigeonhole this guy into what he's going to become. I don't think he's going to be a Trey. He may not be a Traquan Smith. And when you say he reminds you of Traquan Smith, in what aspect? The good things that Traquan Smith, the blocking, the downfield blocking that he did, or the bad side Traquan Smith, where you didn't know if he was on the field or not. You didn't know if he was a healthy scratch or not, because you didn't hear about it. You didn't hear his number being called. So which one is it? And also another thing, you don't have to pigeonhole every 6'2" and above wide receiver as the next Michael Thomas for this football team. I don't think we have to have Michael Thomas's role to have success with this offense. I don't think, even though it would be great, but I think we don't have to have it to be successful. Because Michael Thomas's skill set is something that will be, his skill set is tailor-made for an offense that Clint Kubiak is going to run. It's tailor-made for it. But I don't think we have to have that type of player to run this offense, because we got to let these guys succeed based on what they're good at, not what Michael Thomas did. Because there's nothing about A.T. Perry's game that resembles Michael Thomas. Nothing. Even Bud Means. But I think these are my four guys that I think can have an impact on this team, a significant role. Bud Means, Christian Ford, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Talise Fawanga. I view Spencer Rattler as a player that can come in the future and be that guy at quarterback. But it's all going to depend on how quick he can grasp this offense during training camp. So we'll see everything play out. But overall, as for me, for grades, I'll give the Saints a B+, man. I'll give them a B+. And that's because they didn't go out there and give up future assets to make these picks. They didn't. So they stayed put. They stayed pat. I felt as though they were going to move up in the third and fourth round and grab some players, but they didn't. But it is what it is. They're taking a different approach on how they construct this roster. And hopefully it'll work out for these guys this upcoming season. Because let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 picks, right? In this draft. 7 picks. If 4 of these guys can pop, that's great. Because you're not paying them anything. You're doing rookie deals. That way it could minimize the cap hits, the dead money that's being owed. So we just gotta wait and see how it's gonna play out, man, for the upcoming season. Okay. All right, so that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What players on this in this 2024 draft class do you believe will have a significant impact on the upcoming 2024 season? And also check out sportsview360.com/Saints. I'll have some new content on the team coming out real soon. Just be patient, and we'll go from there. All right. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out. Who that?